One Zambia, One Nation. A warm welcome to Zanis TV Main News. We are broadcasting to you from Mass Media Complex in Lusaka. I'm your presenter, Nambula Mwangala, and my sign language interpreter is John Chulu. Let's look at the top stories making headlines. Converter fault on Namibia power importation route resolved. Zambian youths off to France for World Skills competition. Plus, government pays 13.5 million to farmers in Mongwe. And now the news in detail. Minister of Energy, Makozo Chikote, says the converter fault on the Namibian power importation route has been resolved and the country expects relative network stability going forward. Mr. Chikote explains that during this week, the country has been experiencing power transfer constraints in the southern circuit via Namibia, which has resulted in reduced power imports of about 100 megawatts. He notes that this development caused increased hours of load shedding in some parts of the country. Mr. Chikote said this in Lusaka today during a press briefing that was represented by his Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Peter Mumba. He disclosed that all the installation of all 23 diesel-powered generators will be completed by September 30th, 2024. Mr. Chikote has further noted that the first consignment of the 9 out of the 23 diesel generators procured have already arrived in the country, while the remaining 14 are expected to arrive next week.
During this week, we have been experiencing power transfer constraints in the southern circuit via Namibia, which has resulted in reduced power imports of about 100 megawatts, causing therefore increased hours of load shedding in some locations. In this regard, we wish to inform the nation that the converter fault on the Namibian power importation route was resolved midnight, and we can expect relative network stability going forward. As of today, the country's power generation levels stand at 1,019 megawatts against a demand of 2,400 megawatts, therefore leaving a deficit of 1,381 megawatts. The first consignment of 9 out of 23 diesel generators procured by ZESCO have now arrived in the country, while the remaining 14 are expected to arrive in the country this coming week. Now, the 9 diesel generators that have been received so far will be installed this week, beginning with 2 at Chilenje and Nyumbayanga markets, and another 2 to be installed at Soweto market. Therefore, the installation of all the 23 diesel generators will be completed by 30th September 2024. During the signing of the electricity net metering regulations in Tulo, the Energy Regulation Board has now published the net metering and connection fees to enable public to participate as producers and consumers of electricity on the national grid and support the country's solar uptake.
And Minister of Health, Elijah Mchima, has employed the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, to maintain a steady and consistent supply of essential drugs in all health institutions in the country. Dr. Mchima has since directed that all health institutions must aim to maintain an 80% stock level of essential medical supplies. The minister said this when he made an impromptu visit to the agency, where he also directed management to distribute all the cholera donations to areas of need before they expire. More in this report.
A consistent supply of essential drugs is critical for providing quality patient care, saving lives, and promoting the overall well-being of citizens. This is why Health Minister Dr. Elijah Mchima has implored the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency ZAMSA to ensure the continuous flow and stocking of essential medical supplies to all health institutions across the country. The minister said this when he made an impromptu visit to the agency.
Being told that most of the warehouses or hubs are full. I was in Kitwe with my command secretary. There is space there. There is 40% space to load in. And also the vehicles which have been distributed just parked. They're not being utilized. We have the money for operations. I don't know why. Because essential medicine have to be there everywhere. Everywhere. We have them here. We can see the storages. We have them. And this government has worked very hard. We didn't have drugs, but this time now we have drugs. We didn't have money, this time we have money. We didn't have transport, now we have got transport. What is lacking is capacity of a human being. Are we being objective or subjective? We want to wrap subjective and remain objective.
The minister has further directed that all medical and non-medical supplies lying in various warehouses donated during the cholera outbreak be put to good use.
I'm more interested in my team to take stock, first of all, to see the warehouse where you are keeping donated goods during cholera. How you accounted for them, and we should not keep them forever. If they are applied by plates, blankets, and what have you, we need to take a decision quickly. They have to go where they are wanted. People are sleeping on the floor in certain areas. Why should we keep them here? And no, and there have been information that there have been thefts, privilege. People have been stealing and selling them on the streets. Whoever took anything, the law will visit.
The minister has also advised the agency against overbuying of the same drugs, as was the case with the intravenous fluids, which were procured 3 times what the country needed, saying this puts a financial strain on the treasury. Dr. Mchima, who was accompanied by the ministry's permanent secretary for technical services, Dr. Kennedy Lishimpi, and acting ZAMSA Director General, Luke Alutuli, toured selected warehouses where medical supplies and some cholera donations have been kept, such as the Apollo, Zeko, and Mission Farm warehouses. Zanis reports in Osaka.
Now, Zambia and China have signed 3 Memorandum of Understanding, MOUs, in diplomatic engagements, emergency humanitarian aid worth 20 million yuan, as well as infrastructure expansion that will contribute to economic diplomacy between the 2 countries. Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Permanent Secretary for Administration, Hope Situmbeko, says the agreements outline several key areas between Zambia and China's 60 years of bilateral relations. In other news, Minister of Tourism Rodney Sikumba has expressed happiness that poaching has reduced in game management areas, GMAs, in Eastern Province. And Mr. Sikumba says a subsequent increase of wildlife population will result in increased tourist inflow into the country. The minister said this during separate meetings with different traditional leaders in the district.
Minister of Tourism Rodney Sikumba has continued his tour of Eastern Province, where he is visiting chiefdoms hosting game management areas. The minister, who is in the company of Eastern Province Minister Peter Piri, Ministry of Tourism Permanent Secretary Evans Muhanga, and other government officials, is happy to learn that wildlife population has increased in the last few years in Mambo district due to reduced poaching activities.
You know, conservation has gone up, poaching has gone down, and because the population has grown, now the animals are moving towards the communities. Obviously, we need to just make sure that our conservation efforts translate into cash as opposed to deaths. So we need to work around that.
And the minister has thanked chiefs in Mambwe district for partnering with government in conserving wildlife. And Mr. Sikumba, together with the Eastern Province Minister, has assured residents of cropping area in Mambwe district that the Department of National Parks and Wildlife will soon control elephants that have been terrorizing them.
Kukafika 18 hours, nistankala problem. Njofu za tifuta njofu za ononga manyumba ya mbili ya wantu. Mani njofu za kwanza nesi kungotia pe unga manyumba ya wantu. Ikapanya doyo, isa kitachitamba pa nepali unga.
Human life is number 1. Then vinyama number 2. Munimvera, human life number 1. Then vinyama number 2. So we will make sure that we protect human life. At chichachamechi kona kutia unga abantu cha tenti sakire. Mamvera, tenti sakire. Mameza chichita sinza kama manja. Wazati mvera wambili. But zachi pesa.
Henry Himonde for Zanis News in Mambwe District, Eastern Province.
Now, Mumbwa Member of Parliament, Credo Nanjua, has commissioned the earth-moving equipment and other Constituency Development Fund CDF projects in the district. Speaking during the commissioning, Mr. Nanjua, who is also Southern Province Minister, said the increased CDF is changing lives while transforming the developmental landscape of the district. Stay tuned for more interesting stories after the break.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on Zanis TV, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
Minister of Technology and Science, Felix Mutati, says government is committed to partner with the private sector to improve skills development in the country. Mr. Mutati says the private sector plays a key role in enhancing skills and infrastructure development, adding that government has since 2021 embarked on promoting skills development. He said Zambia is determined to take skills development to greater heights through private partnership and the use of Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Mr. Mutati was speaking during the send-off dinner for the Zambian youths representing the country at the World Skills Competition in France last night. And World Skills Program Manager Precious Lisulo explained that World Skills Competition was formed in Spain and has currently 88 countries that participate, but that Zambia joined in 2014. Meanwhile, one of the youths, Tamala Sakala, promised to go and compete favorably with other countries. Government has pledged to help Seventh-day Adventist SDA Church members in Milenge district whose makeshift camp houses were burnt after the fire swept through their camp. Luapula Province Minister Njavwa Simtowe, who visited the camp to assess the extent of the damage, says government is saddened with the incident. Mr. Simtowe has since assured that government will provide the necessary support to all the affected members.
Fire has swept through the Seventh-day Adventist Church campsite for the Milenge Mission district in Luapula Province. The fire, which came from the brazier in one of the camp houses, spread to other shelters, affecting about 90 families who are camping, leaving their clothes, food, beddings, and other personal belongings destroyed. Seventh-day Adventist Church Milenge Mission District Pastor Benjamin Chansa explains what transpired.
It affected 2 churches and their campaigns, Kombotu SDA Church and their campaigns, and Changwelunga SDA Church, whereby everything that they came with got burnt. Money, solar, mattresses, everything, they just remained with what they were putting on. So as we are speaking right now, they don't have blankets, they don't have mirror and everything. They just slept under the trees. So as the church, we are kindly pleading for the government if they can come to our rescue and help us.
Luapula Province Minister Njavwa Simtowe, who rushed to the scene of the incident, has assured the affected people of government support.
Fyonse kumafufya mulushire efyo. Lesa munkama yakwe. Lesa panchita yakwe. Akatakava. Fyonse. So, loleshe nife kulilesa. Iye nife kulilesa. Lesa ewa suko. Na ife ngo buteko mkwai mwana fyashi batatana bamayo tulina imwe kuchula kwenu ko muchulire. Lero mkwai na wadiye mutefo basenda ma records se uteko ubomba basende bune ferefu aikwa pati nga wishku amayo twamona musango unono otungafuisha mkwai ngo buteko mkwai na.
The camp meeting has however continued despite the sad incident. Kenneth Chomba reporting for Zanis News in Mirenge district.
Government has donated tents, foodstuff, groceries and clothes to the 63 households whose makeshift houses were gutted at Momba Fishing Camp in Nakaila Ward of Shibuyunji district. Central Province Minister Mwabashike Nkulukusa, who made the donation, says government will assist the affected 135 individuals out of a total population of 365 for a period of 3 months. Mr. Nkulukusa said this would enable the affected families to build structures that are fire resilient. Lusaka City Council has handed over a check of over 4 million kwacha Constituency Development Fund CDF to 59 beneficiaries as empowerment loans in Chawama constituency. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Garin Kombo, who officiated at the handover ceremony, has commended the local authorities for the efforts in ensuring that CDF programs are well implemented. Mr. Kombo says the government will continue rolling out loans and grants countrywide as a way of promoting decentralization. Beatrice Mfula has more.
A check of 4,338,000 Constituency Development Fund (CDF) has been handed over to 59 beneficiaries as an empowerment loan in Chawama constituency. Officiating at a handover ceremony is Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Minister Garin Kombo.
Because what is good is good. There's no doubt about that. What is good is good. And unless you want to do politics just for the heck of it, for fun, to have to be heard, as far as I am concerned, I am also a member of parliament where I'm from, and I've seen without doubt in my mind that these eyes don't lie, that the benefits of the Constituent Development Fund are real.
Beneficiaries have been awarded a total of 4,338,000 kwacha, which will certainly boost their business and contribute to the economic growth of our great city.
Meanwhile, CDF Chairperson Mohamed Mutete and the Lai Ward 4 Councillor gives an update on the CDF projects in Chawama constituency.
And we are happy as Chawama constituency that we have continued to progressively grow the number of our youths in the skills.
Soon my office and my team will be handing over some of the completed community projects. Examples, guest of honor, Honorable Gary. As you can see to your left-hand side, there's an admission ward, and behind you there's a maternity ward.
And one of the beneficiaries, Kelly Mulenga, has encouraged other residents to apply for empowerment programs regardless of their political affiliations.
You need to realize your potential, what you can do in the community to enrich and to motivate and to be a multiplying factor to the government, because the government is giving us these funds.
The ceremony was closed by songs and dances. Beatrice Mfula for Zanis News in Lusaka.
Also in the news, the Zambia police has recovered assorted stolen items worth thousands of kwacha in various compounds of Mongo district in Western Province. Provincial Police Commissioner David Chileshe has since called on the members of the public to go to Mongo Central Police Station to identify their properties. More in the following reports.
Police officers in Mongo district of Western Province have recovered stolen properties worth thousands of kwacha during their continued operations aimed at following up reported cases of theft and burglary. The recovered items have today been displayed at Mongo Central Police premises for possible identification by the owners.
We conducted operations, sting operations, that is between 1st August and 18th August 2024, where we had to be necessitated by the rampant complaints that we were receiving of thefts and breakings into people's homes. Various members of the public came forward to report that they have lost a number of valuable items, household items that is. Now, this significant police operation, in collaboration with the members of the public, led to the recovery of the underlisted items, some of which you can see surrounding here.
And Police Commissioner David Chileshe further disclosed cases of cattle rustling in the province.
We also would like to report that we also recovered 45 heads of cattle during the period under review, and they were broken down as follows. In Mongo, 9 heads of cattle were recovered with the 6 suspects arrested. In Limulunga, we recovered 5 heads of cattle and 3 suspects were nabbed. In Nkeyema, that is Kaoma district, we received 2 cases in which we recovered 15 heads of cattle, and 1 suspect has since been apprehended and detained. In Sesheke, we received 11 heads of cattle that were recovered, with 2 suspects apprehended and detained. In Shangombo, we recovered 5 heads of cattle and we arrested 4 persons. As Zambia Police Service, we will endeavor to continue collaborating with you, members of the general public, in the execution of our day-to-day duties.
Mongo residents have expressed gratitude towards the police's performance in the district.
Kwa polisi nimapokola babereki bayona suhuluhulu musebezi wabakonile kwezaho wakuli bakonile kusatalala nikuvada nikulatera likazeo zekonile kusinyehero kivatu wabashutana mane bakonile kulifitisa kuli tukafera yakona kuba nikolo yanani sepo nikusepa mubaberekera kuli atato onalikaza hae. That is a display for police.
Really thank you to the police that they managed to take hold of my things.
Other items recovered include a rice sheller mill and a motor vehicle which was stolen in Kitwe. Darlington Kavambe reporting in Mongo District, Western Province.
We take a break. Join us for agriculture news. Keep watching.
Zambia Today is a program that keeps you informed on various government policies and programs. Join us every Tuesday at 18 hours on Zanis TV, Topstar Platform, Channel 6 DTT, and 458 DTH. Don't miss.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Agriculture in Northern Province has encouraged small and medium-scale farmers in the province to apply for the Sustainable Agriculture Financing Facility, SAF, in the 2024-2025 farming season. Provincial Senior Marketing Development Officer, Musaka Chikobola, says people should take advantage of the program, which is scheduled to commence next week to access funds for their agriculture activities and increase production. Mr. Chikobola has told Zanis in an interview in Kasama that government has put in place measures to enhance the implementation of the program. He indicated that the 2024-2025 SAF program will include seasonal crop financing, irrigation components, mechanization, livestock, and aquaculture components. Mr. Chikobola has further revealed that the facility has also attracted 10 commercial banks that have shown interest to participate in supporting farmers with loans. The Sustainable Agriculture Financing Facility SAF is an agriculture credit window whose objective is to provide affordable agriculture financing to small and medium-scale farmers. Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu has flagged off the distribution of farming inputs to 500 beneficiaries under the Wetland Cropping Component Program being implemented in 3 sub-centers of the district. Ms. Zulu says the objective of this program is to empower vulnerable but viable farmer households in Munali, Gwerere and Matero sub-centers. We have more in the following reports.
The distribution of the farming inputs to 500 beneficiaries of the Emergency Wetland Cropping Program has commenced in Lusaka District following the successful flag-off by Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu in Ngwerere Sub-Center in Mandevu constituency. This program targets the vulnerable but viable farmer households that have land to cultivate crops and water source for watering their crops. Lusaka District Community Development Officer Kakunda Kawilila explains what the Emergency Wetland Cropping Program is all about.
Wetland ni mwabene mwanamkuleta pirisha kulafunya tushiba muleta pirisha.
The 500 beneficiaries are drawn from Matero, Ngwerere and Munali sub-centers where access to streams, dambos and other sources of water is available. The district commissioner encouraged the beneficiaries to prudently use these agricultural inputs.
As I flag off the distribution of emergency wetland inputs, it is my prayer and hope that with your commitment and determination, these inputs will help in the reduction of hunger in the district.
Betty Banda, one of the beneficiaries, has thanked the government on behalf of the other beneficiaries.
President watu wakainde ichi chintu chisapelele pamene hapa akatale kwina kukonse apite kwanza ona kulibe dandaulo ya njala mpaka mvula izabwera.
The inputs being distributed comprise of 500 by 50 kilograms bags of urea fertilizer, 500 by 50 kilograms bags of D compound, and 500 by 5 kilograms bags of maize seed. Meanwhile, Ms. Zulu took time to inform the beneficiaries of the Cash Forward Drought Intervention Program being implemented by the government.
From 18 years to 59 years. Why? 18 years and below, 17 years and below, kuwasebenzesa wakati manga ni child labor. Then mkapeleka kuma 60 years kuja 59. 60 years simungasebenzese muntu mukuru wonse. Vaja ndiye vamene vaenera ofora zija zama handout zechameti pasa chabe.
Mijelo Mweba reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
About 2,000 farmers in Dola district that were affected by drought in the 2023-2024 farming season have benefited from the Emergency Wetland Fertilizer Distribution Program under the Food Security Pack FSP, aimed at restoring the family's livelihood. Dola District Commissioner Joseph Piri, who flagged off the fertilizer distribution in Dola's Kaniki area, says the program is meant to revive the agriculture activities and promote food security in the country. In other news, Human Rights Commission Chairperson Pamela Sambo says that Zambia is on the right trajectory towards enhancing and promoting rights of persons with disabilities. However, speaking during a panel discussion on catalyzing action for gender transformative and disability inclusive drought response, Dr. Sambo notes that persons with disabilities face numerous challenges in accessing buildings and social services. And finally, on our news, government has paid out over 13.5 million kwacha to farmers in Mungwe district of Northern Province who have supplied their maize to the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, in the ongoing crop marketing season. District Commissioner Muma Musonda, who confirmed the development, says the maize purchases and payments to farmers are progressing well. Japhet Mukondia was in Mungwi and gives us more in the following reports.
These are some of the farmers who supplied their maize to the Food Reserve Agency in Mungwi district. The farmers are excited that government is paying them on time, despite the district only having one bank. Andrew Kasutu is one of the farmers who has received this payment. Masie Mbewe is Indo-Zambia Bank Mungwi branch supervisor.
The FRI payments have been going on well, because we've received about 15.5 from FRI, and so far we've paid about 13.2, and we are remaining with 2 point something. And the cooperation with the farmers is going on well at the moment. To the farmers is that they should bear with us. Sometimes we receive cash late, which as farmers they won't understand. So our appeal is just to cooperate and to coordinate with us. So we tell them that no, at the moment we don't have cash, wait for this time, then we'll go ahead.
Meanwhile, Mungwi District Commissioner Muma Musonda urged farmers to put the money to good use.
Ile mulelo lela fisi politikezi na kuba upoka amataba ne nomufundo wa fisi government taipiri kulo kutira mwese munonke ipiri kulo kupusha insalamu mayanda number 2 ule fira kwa atina ni additional advantage. Then number 2 kuri muma farmers beso indalama tashichepa kaidi indalama tashifula ichichepa femano na ngwichifula mano kabonfeni bwino ishindalama. Then keni shinda la matwala fola ngabashima famu twale bomba n'abana nabena mwesu sheshirete chiwote munganda.
Reporting for Zanis in Mungwi district, I'm Japhet Mukondia.
As we end the news, a reminder of the top stories that made headlines. Converter fault on Namibia power importation route resolved. Zambian youths off to France for World Skills competition. Plus, government pays 13.5 million to farmers in Mungwi. On behalf of my sign language interpreter, John Chulu, and the entire news production crew, my name is Nambula Mwangala. Thank you for watching.